My family has a generational profession, passed down through 3 generations, always to a single heir. No, it's not dispensing medicine to save lives, nor is it exorcising evil spirits by reading feng shui. My family specializes in eliminating monsters, or more specifically, green tea bitches. My father, Ethan Th1E9M, was once a captain in the Criminal Investigation Police, a leading expert in interrogation and micro-expression analysis. With just a glance, he could tell if someone was lying about an affair or hiding a murder. After retiring early, he opened a private security consulting firm called Than Tr1EBNG, Purification. It sounds grand, but in reality it specializes in handling third-party, green tea incidents for the elite. My mother, Evelyn Th1E9M, is a criminal psychologist. She can profile a swindler from just a few text messages and build a perfect psychological trap for the prey to walk right into. My older brother, Andrew Th1E9M, is a white hat hacker. He can dig up a Playboy's dating history from 10 years ago or recover a deleted WeChat message from a green tea bitch within 10 minutes. And then there's me, Selena Th1E9M, the culmination of all my family's talents. I inherited my father's keen eyesight, my mother's analytical brain, and my brother's tech skills, just enough to expose anyone. Currently, I'm a sophomore at a university, essentially interning in one of the country's most prolific breeding grounds for high-quality green teas. The dormitory just welcomed a new member, Jasmine Jiang, the new beauty queen of the foreign language department, who moved into my room. From the moment she pulled her suitcase through the door, my green tea warning system blared. A long white dress reaching her heels, straight black hair, a delicate face without makeup, but lips always rosy and eyes always glistening as if on the verge of tears. A classic, white lotus, archetype. She gave me and my 2 other roommates a fragile smile, her voice soft as a breeze. "Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine Jiang. I hope you'll all help me out in the future." Roommate A, a true otaku, immediately melted. "Oh my god, you're so pretty, just call me Mimi." Roommate B, a studious bookworm, pushed up her glasses. "Hi, I'm Lena." I just nodded, a standard polite smile playing on my lips. Selena Th1E9M, the purification system, in my head automatically launched, starting a profile. Subject, Jasmine Jiang. Preliminary level, grade a green tea. Characteristics, fakes an innocent little bunny image, easily gains sympathy from women, highly lethal to men. Sure enough, in less than a week, Jasmine Jiang successfully charmed everyone in class, from the class president to the boys who only played games. She always appeared at the right moment to offer tissues to a crying girl, always, accidentally, had an extra portion of breakfast for the boy sitting next to her, always said things like, "I'm okay, don't worry about me," with teary, red-rimmed eyes. But I knew her ultimate target wasn't these small fry. The big fish she was after was Lucas L1E5C. Lucas L1E5C, the heartthrob of the Business Administration Department, student council president, and only son of the L1E5C group chairman. He was at the top of the university's food chain. Handsome, intelligent, from an incredibly powerful family, and with a somewhat aloof personality, a perfect target for any hunter. I began to document Jasmine Jiang's hunting process like a case study. Day 1, the accidental encounter phase, she, randomly, dropped her books right in front of Lucas L1E5C in the library. Not many books, just enough for him to bend down and pick one up for her. She received the book back, bowing her head, her bangs hiding her eyes, muttering, "Thank you." A perfect little play to make a first impression. Day 3, the evoking sympathy phase. She appeared at the basketball court where Lucas L1E5C was playing. She didn't cheer like the other girls, just sat quietly in a corner, clutching a bottle of mineral water. When the game ended, she timidly approached, handed the water bottle to another team member and said, "Student, could you please give this to President L1E5C? He looks tired." She didn't approach him directly, but used an indirect way to show subtle concern. Level up. Day 7, the decisive attack phase. This was when the drama reached its climax. That day, I was sitting in a cafe opposite the stadium, finishing my internship report to send to my dad. Through the window, I saw Luca's L5C walking out of the gym. At the same time, Jasmine Jiang came from a hidden corner, carrying a towering stack of documents. Everything unfolded like a movie. She tripped, the documents scattered everywhere, and she fell flat on the ground. But the crucial detail was that she fell right at Luca's L5C's feet. People around started murmuring. Luca's L5C frowned, clearly not wanting to get involved in trouble. He was known for disliking contact with strangers, especially girls, but Jasmine Jiang had calculated everything. She didn't rush to get up, just sat on the ground, her ankles suspiciously swollen and red. Tears began to well up. She bit her lip, trying to appear strong but unable to hide her pain. Analysis: subject Luca's L5C has a slight narcissistic tendency, hates trouble, but also possesses the self-respect of a leader. Ignoring a weak, injured girl in front of everyone would damage his image. I mumbled, typing quickly on my laptop. As expected, Luca's L5C couldn't ignore her. He sighed, bent down, his voice still icy. "Are you okay?" I'm fine." Jasmine Jiang looked up, her tear-filled eyes looking directly at him. A critical hit. Any man seeing this scene would soften. Luca's L5C was silent for a few seconds, seemingly in an internal struggle. Finally, he extended his hand. Gasps of surprise echoed around. Luca's L5C had never actively helped a girl like this before. Jasmine Jiang looked at his hand, the corner of her mouth, hidden behind her bangs, subtly curved upwards. She was about to place her hand on his. Once physical contact was successfully made, the relationship would advance significantly. I smiled, closed my laptop. Report paused, moving to the intervention phase. I stood up, walked out of the cafe, and headed straight to the center of the drama. I pushed through the crowd, stepping in front of them both. "Jasmine, what happened to you?" I knelt beside her, my voice full of concern, completely ignoring Luca's L5C's presence. Jasmine Jiang froze, her triumphant smile not yet completely faded, now solidified. Selena Th9M, why are you here?" I didn't answer. My hand gently touched her ankle. "Does it hurt a lot? Let me see." I lightly pressed on an acupuncture point. This was a skill I learned from my father's former bodyguard, specifically used to check for real or fake injuries. If it were real, she would scream in pain. Jasmine Jiang flinched, not from pain but from surprise. Her eyes flickered with a hint of wariness as she looked at me. I looked up at her with a pure, flawless smile, but leaned close to her ear and whispered at a volume only we could hear. "Your acting skills aren't bad, but next time you want to fake a sprain, you should learn a bit about bone structure. This bone position looks more like a mosquito bite." Jasmine Jiang's face instantly went pale. I stood up, turned to look at Luca's L5C, who had been frozen in place until now. I bowed at a perfect 30-degree angle, smiling politely. "Excuse me for the interruption, President L5C. My roommate is a bit clumsy. I can take care of her." With that, without waiting for his reply, I bent down and gently, yet irresistibly, helped Jasmine Jiang up. "Come on, I'll take you back to the room." As I walked past Luca's L5C, I could feel his gaze, no longer cold and distant, but a deep curiosity and scrutiny. I helped Jasmine Jiang walk a few steps, then, as if remembering something, I turned back and smiled at him. "Oh, that's right, President L5C. I'm Selena Th9M, Jasmine's roommate. I hope you don't mind if I ask for your contact information, just in case Jasmine accidentally runs into trouble near you again. I'll know who to inform." The entire crowd was stunned into silence. This wasn't just disrupting, this was a declaration of war. In my mind, red text flashed, Case File 404. Subject, Jasmine Jiang. Level, Poisonous White Lotus. Status, in progress. Responsible party, Selena Th9M. The air around us grew so thick that a dropped needle would surely be heard. The entire gossiping crowd held their breath, staring at the three-way standoff between me, Jasmine Jiang, and Luca's L5C. My declaration of war still hung in the air, both blunt and provocative. Jasmine Jiang trembled, unsure if it was from anger or because I was gripping her arm tightly. She tried to pull her hand away but failed. Luca's L5C showed no sign of discomfort. He quietly observed me from head to toe, his gaze sharp as a razor, as if wanting to strip away all my disguises. I didn't shy away, meeting his gaze with a smile. In my head, the system automatically ran an analysis. Subject, Lucas L5C. Heart rate stable, pupils not dilated, corner of mouth curved up 0.1, reaction, amused, not prey, another hunter. Several seconds passed like an eternity. Finally, Lucas L5C broke the silence. He didn't look at me but at his phone, his tone as indifferent as if ordering food. WeChat. Just 2 words, no name, no number requested. The crowd was astonished again. Adding Lucas L5C on WeChat, that was harder than winning the lottery. I raised an eyebrow. Interesting. I took out my phone and opened my QR code. Lucas L5C was decisive, scanning the code and adding me. The entire process took less than 5 seconds. Done. He put away his phone, walked past me and Jasmine Jiang, leaving a casual remark. Don't get really hurt. Was he talking to Jasmine Jiang, warning her to stop her games? Or was he talking to me, reminding me not to go too far? I didn't even have time to analyze before Lucas L5C was gone. The crowd, seeing the show was over, gradually dispersed, leaving behind only curious stares and whispers. The drama ended. I released Jasmine Jiang's arm. Let's go back to the dorm, I said, my tone returning to its usual casualness. Jasmine Jiang forcefully pulled her hand away from mine, taking a step back. Her earlier fragile facade was gone, replaced by an undisguised coldness and hatred. Her glistening eyes were now sharp as daggers. Selena Thẩm, she gritted her teeth. What do you want? Oh, finally taking off the mask, are we? I smiled, leisurely dusting off my clothes. I don't want anything. I just noticed a few flaws in your acting, and as your roommate, I was just kindly pointing them out. You ruined my good thing. Good thing? I scoffed. Jasmine Jiang, do you think Lucas L5C is a fool? Your old tricks might fool a few teenage boys, but for someone like him, it's more obvious than a third-rate TV drama script. Her face grew increasingly ugly. Clearly, my words had hit a nerve. What do you know? She growled. Don't think you're so special. Someone like you is just a jealous little girl, resentful when other people catch the eye of a campus heartthrob. Analysis. Subject is starting a name-calling tactic, twisting the truth, turning herself into a victim. The system in my head ran again. I shook my head, feigning pity. Jasmine Jiang, is that all your level is? Can't argue back, so you resort to personal attacks? Boring. With that, I turned my back and walked away, not bothering with her fuming behind me. The real battle was just beginning. As soon as I got back to the dorm, I locked the door, opened my laptop, and initiated a group video call. 3 faces quickly appeared on screen. Situation report, Purification Task Force, I said, my face serious. On the left screen, my father, Ethan Th9M, sat in his office twirling a fountain pen, listening. On the right screen, my mother, Evelyn Th9M, was wearing a cucumber face mask, her voice a little muffled. How's the progress, my daughter? On the center screen, my brother, Andrew Th9M, sat in front of a complex computer setup, his fingers flying across the keyboard. Make it quick, busy hunting a financial shark. I summarized the entire incident, from the fake fall to the direct declaration of war and Lucas L5C's reaction. My father mused, Lucas L5C. The L5C family boy is not simple. His reaction shows he wasn't fooled and actually wants to watch the show. You've become an interesting variable in his play. You must be careful. He might not be the target but another player. My mother removed a cucumber slice. I agree with your father, but the main target is still Jasmine Jiang. According to psychological analysis, after failing and being publicly humiliated, she won't stay silent. She'll retaliate, and her weapon will be public opinion. She'll portray herself as a bullied victim, and you'll become the domineering villainess. No need to wait any longer, my brother interrupted, turning a monitor towards the camera. School forum, 5 minutes ago. Shocking headline, Foreign Language Department beauty queen publicly humiliated by roommate in front of campus heartthrob out of jealousy. On the screen was a long, emotional post. the perspective of an outraged bystander. The article described Jasmine Jiang as a gentle, fragile girl who, just for receiving a little help from President L5C, was envied by her roommate, Selena Thẩm, who deliberately sabotaged her and even made sarcastic, challenging remarks. The article also shrewdly included a distant photo of me helping Jasmine Jiang up, making it look exactly like I was bullying her. Below, the comments had already surged into the hundreds. "Oh my God, I can't believe it. Is this only for players in the game?" Case file 404 updated. Status: target has counterattacked. Third-party character with undetermined role has appeared. Danger level of case escalated. Moving to Phase 2, dismantling the public opinion trap and direct interrogation. I stood before my wardrobe, choosing a plain black t-shirt, jeans, and a thin bomber jacket without hesitation. This outfit was comfortable enough to handle any unexpected situation. For example, if Lucas L5C suddenly wanted to push me downstairs. Yet simple enough to show I didn't consider this meeting a date. Before leaving, I sent a message to Andrew Th1M. Initiate the Snow White and the Poisoned Apple plan. Requirements: precise, swift, leaves no trace. 3 seconds later, my brother replied with a smiling emoji wearing sunglasses. Understood. The night wind on the rooftop of the Science and Technology building howled. Lucas L5C was already there, standing with his back to me at the edge of the railing. His silhouette was tall and solitary, merging with the distant neon lights of the city, looking somewhat like a movie villain. "You're 1 minute and 37 seconds late." He didn't turn around, his cold voice cutting through the wind. "You must ensure no one followed you." I calmly walked over, stopping a safe distance from him. Safety first. President L5C must understand that best. Only then did he turn around. Under the dim moonlight, his face became even more angular, his eyes deep and unfathomable. He looked at me, a naked gaze, openly scrutinizing. "Aren't you afraid of me?" "Why should I be afraid?" I shrugged. "If you wanted to do anything to me, you wouldn't have chosen a place with security cameras at the only entrance." Lucas L5C's lips subtly curved, a smile almost imperceptible. "Clever. So tell me, how long do you and Jasmine Jiang plan to keep up this play?" He went straight to the point, without any pretense. Analysis: subject's thought process is direct, eliminating unnecessary emotional elements, focusing on the objective. Confirmed, same type of person. I didn't hold back either. "So what about your play?" President L5C uses an innocent girl as bait, watching 2 tigresses fight. Isn't that very interesting? "You're not a tiger." Lucas L5C shook his head, taking a step closer to me. "A tiger goes straight for the prey. You're a patient snake, waiting to deliver a fatal bite." The distance between us shortened. I could smell a faint hint of mint on him, and invisible pressure began to build. "So, can this snake ask why you called me here?" I looked straight into his eyes. "To warn me not to touch your little white rabbit." "Little white rabbit?" Lucas L5C chuckled, a low, mocking laugh. "Selena Th1M, you underestimate me too much and yourself too little. A rabbit disguised as a fox, how can it compare to a venomous snake like you?" He took another step forward. "I called you here to propose a transaction." "A transaction?" "Exactly." His eyes glinted. "You want to expose Jasmine Jiang, I want to watch a good show. Our goals don't conflict. I provide information, you provide entertainment. How about it?" This was exactly what my father had warned me about. He wasn't prey, nor was he a mere spectator. He wanted to be the director. "What kind of information?" I asked, feigning moderate interest. "For example," he took out his phone, scrolled a few times, then showed me the screen. "Jasmine Jiang is not from an ordinary family as she claims. Her father is Victor Jiang, a newly emerging real estate mogul in City B, infamous for his unsavory tactics. He's trying to penetrate the City A market, and the partner he's targeting is the L5C group." All the pieces began to fit together, so that's it. Jasmine Jiang approached Lucas L5C not just because he was a campus heartthrob, but as a chess move in her father's business game, a commercial marriage. And there's more. Lucas L5C retracted his phone. She has a fiancé in City B, the son of another business partner of Victor Jiang. I heard they're about to get engaged. High-level green tea, not only hunting one prey but casting a wide net everywhere. I muttered. So, is my information valuable? Lucas L5C asked, his tone full of confidence. Passable, I replied, deliberately feigning indifference. So what do you want from this drama? I want her to leave this school in the most humiliating way possible. Lucas L5C's voice suddenly turned cold, a flash of intense disgust in his eyes. I despise people who dare to scheme against me. I looked deep into his eyes. Deal. At that exact moment, my phone vibrated. The screen lit up with a notification from the school forum. I didn't even need to check it to know it was a message from Andrew Th1E9M. Phase 1 complete. I smiled at Lucas L5C. It seems our play has already taken a new turn. Do you want to see? I opened the latest post on the forum. An anonymous account had just posted with a sensational headline, exposing the Pure Campus beauty Jasmine Jiang, actually a rich heiress specializing in hunting young masters. Here's the proof. The article didn't mention me at all, focusing solely on Jasmine Jiang. It included a series of screenshots from her old, now-locked Instagram account named Snow Yang. In them, she flaunted designer handbags, checked into luxurious resorts, and most notably, an intimate photo of her linking arms with an unfamiliar man. The caption read, "Counting down the days, my love." The photo was posted just 2 months ago. Below, Andrew Th1E9M had used dozens of fake accounts to steer public opinion. Wait, isn't that young Master Wang of the Wang Group in City B? I heard he's about to get engaged. Oh my god, she already has a fiancé and she's here flirting with our campus heartthrob? Disgusting. No wonder I always thought she seemed fake. So she's an actress. So what about Selena Th1E9M bullying her? Or was Selena Th1E9M set up by her? In just 5 minutes, the tide of public opinion had reversed 180 degrees. From a pitiful victim, Jasmine Jiang suddenly transformed into a high-class green tea, a professional swindler. I looked up at Lucas L5C. He was also looking at his phone, the corner of his mouth curved into a satisfied smile. Very professional technique, he complimented. It seems your family is indeed extraordinary. Just a small talent, I humbly replied. The real drama is coming soon. Lucas L5C put away his phone. I'll head back first. I'll be looking forward to your performance. He walked past me, but as he reached the rooftop exit, he suddenly stopped, turning to look at me. Oh, right, Selena Th1E9M. Yes. Just now, you looked utterly adorable. With that, he disappeared behind the door, leaving me alone on the rooftop, his last words echoing in my mind. Adorable? Was that word used to describe me? I shook my head, dismissing the wandering thoughts. The play wasn't over yet. I turned and walked towards the dormitory. The direct confrontation was about to begin. As soon as I reached the hallway, I heard muffled sobs coming from my room. I pushed the door open. Jasmine Jiang was sitting on her bed. Mimi and Lena, my 2 other roommates, were gathered around, comforting her. Seeing me enter, all 3 looked up. Mimi looked at me with reproach, while Lena was full of suspicion. When Jasmine Jiang saw me, her crying intensified. She hiccuped, her voice broken and utterly pathetic. Selena. Selena Th1E9M, was that post on the forum you're doing? Her eyes were brimming with tears, both hurt and incredulous. A true Oscar-worthy performance. I slammed the door shut, locking it. Then I smiled, the most radiant smile I had ever given. Yes, I replied, my voice clear and decisive. It was me. What about it? The dorm room, which had been noisy with Jasmine Jiang's choked sobs, fell silent after my answer. The air seemed to freeze. Her crying caught in her throat, her eyes wide and tear-filled, but now filled with shock and fury. Mimi was the first to react. The naive otaku girl jumped up, pointing a finger at my face, her voice trembling with anger. Selena Th1E9M, how could you do that? That's defamation. Jasmine is just a weak girl. What did she do wrong for you to treat her like that? Lena said nothing, but she pushed up her glasses, her studious eyes scanning back and forth between Jasmine Jiang and me, collecting and analyzing data. I ignored Mimi's rage, slowly pulled a chair to the center of the room, and sat down, crossing my legs. The posture was identical to my father's whenever he began an interrogation. "Weak," I sneered, looking directly at the stunned Jasmine Jiang. "Jasmine Jiang, your bullied victim act was very convincing, but would you like to hear an analysis of the plot holes in your script?" I didn't wait for her reply, turning to Lena. "Lena, you're the most rational one here. Don't you find it strange? A girl who claims her family has an ordinary background can easily transfer into the best dorm in school mid-semester. Unless there are special connections, this would require a substantial donation to the school." Lena subtly nodded, suspicion beginning to gleam in her eyes. I continued, my voice even, as if reading a report. "Next, let's look at the evidence. Mimi, you like anime, so you probably don't know much about luxury brands, but take a good look at the photo on the forum." I opened my phone, zooming in on the picture from Jasmine Jiang's old Instagram. The handbag in her hand is a Hermes Birkin Himalaya crocodile, the diamond-studded clasp version. The price at the last auction was nearly 2 million yuan. The shoes are a limited edition of Manolo Blahnik, not sold publicly. The watch is a Patek Philippe. Tell me, what ordinary background can afford these things? Mimi's mouth fell open. She stammered, It might be fake. Jasmine Jiang, as if grasping a lifesaver, quickly nodded vigorously, tears streaming down her face again. "Yes, it's fake. I just bought it for fun. Selena Thẩm, you're deliberately using these things to frame me? You're so cruel." She started playing the role of the little lamb being cornered by the wolf again. Too bad the wolf wasn't in the mood for drama today. I smiled, a smile that sent shivers down Jasmine Jiang's spine. What a coincidence. My brother happens to be a luxury item authentication expert. Before posting the article, he spent 10 minutes analyzing every detail in your photo. He said, "If these are fakes, then the skill level of this fake factory is museum-worthy." I held up my phone. The screen showed an incoming video call. "So, do you want me to connect directly with him so we can all hear the analysis? Or should I send the full analysis to your fiancé, young Master Wang in City B, so he can see how exquisite his fiancé's fakes are?" The two words, fiancé, were like a final knife thrust, piercing through Jasmine Jiang's last mask. Her face turned from pale to purple, her fragility disappeared, replaced by undisguised malice and madness. "Selena Thẩm, you bitch," she shrieked, the sound so shrill that Mimi and Lena flinched back. "You think you're so smart? Who do you think you are?" "Oh, so you're finally not acting anymore?" I leaned back in my chair, crossing my arms over my chest. "Then allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Selena Thẩm, a nationally certified green tea extermination specialist. Nice to meet you." "I'll kill you," Jasmine Jiang screamed, lunging at me like a wounded animal, nails extended, aiming for my face. Mimi shrieked in terror. Lena was too stunned to speak, but before Jasmine Jiang could even touch me, I caught her wrist. Using a simple wristlock technique learned from my father, I gently twisted it. "Ah!" Jasmine Jiang cried out in pain, collapsing to the ground. I leaned down close to her ear, my voice icy. "Jasmine Jiang, your little game is over. Now you have two choices. 1, pack your bags and leave here silently. 2, I will release the full video of you just attacking me, along with an audio recording of your true voice and information about your father trying to bribe the university principal for your admission. What do you think the L-letter 1E5C group will think of a potential partner with a daughter like that?" Jasmine Jiang's body stiffened. She looked up at me with incredulous eyes, mixed with fear. She didn't understand why all her actions were within the palm of my hand. I released her, stepping back, taking out a tissue to wipe my hands with an expression of disgust. "Mimi, Lena," I turned to my two frozen roommates. "Do you understand now? The person you wholeheartedly comforted is actually a venomous snake disguised as a white rabbit. She approached you simply because you were naive enough to become tools and an audience for her drama." Mimi's face was drained of all color. She stared at Jasmine Jiang, who was kneeling on the ground with unfamiliar eyes. Lena sighed, pushing up her glasses. Selena th letter 1e9m, I truly misjudged someone this time. I apologize. I just nodded. The roommate education mission was complete. Jasmine Jiang stumbled to her feet. She wasn't crying or screaming anymore, just a terrifying silence. She glared at me, her eyes filled with an unbreakable resentment. Selena th letter 1e9m, you just wait. This isn't over. With that, she didn't bother packing her belongings but grabbed her phone and stormed out of the room. As soon as she left, I immediately received a message from Andrew th letter 1e9m. She's calling Victor Jiang. Content: Dad, the plan's been exposed. I was ruined by a girl named Selena th letter 1e9m. You have to deal with her for me. I smiled. Case file 404 updated. Status: low-level target eliminated. Case upgraded to corporate level. New target: Victor Jiang. Phase 3, luring the snake out of its hole has begun. It seemed the student-level game was over. Now it was time for the parents to play. After the door slammed shut behind Jasmine Jiang, room 404 fell into an odd silence. The scent of gunpowder from the recent battle still hung in the air. Mimi collapsed onto her bed, her wide eyes still bewildered, like a fawn that had just escaped a crocodile's jaws. Oh my God, Selena th letter 1e9m, you, she stammered, unable to form a coherent sentence. The admiration in her eyes had completely replaced her earlier reproach. Lena was calmer. She pushed up her glasses and approached me, her voice serious. I've sent an email to dorm management requesting a review of Jasmine Jiang's admission records. At the same time, I'll write a detailed report about her attack just now, with Mimi as a witness. We can't let her falsely accuse you. I looked at Lena and nodded slightly. Thank you, but it's not necessary. Why? They both asked in unison. Because, I smiled, a knowing smile, the next battle won't take place here. Just as I predicted, less than half an hour later, my phone received an unfamiliar number. Selena th letter 1e9m, right? This is Victor Jiang, Jasmine's father. The man's voice on the other end was deep and authoritative, carrying the undisguised arrogance of someone superior. He didn't inquire or beat around the bush, going straight to the point. My daughter is young and naive. She doesn't understand things. If she offended you in any way, I apologize on her behalf. Let's just drop this matter, shall we? Drop it, it sounded like a condescending pardon. Analysis, tone is overbearing, dismissive, insincere. Purpose, use status to quickly suppress the issue. Tactic, typical of privileged bullies. I chuckled softly. Mr. Jiang, you're being too harsh. Just a small misunderstanding between roommates. Why trouble you? A misunderstanding is good. Victor Jiang seemed pleased with my apparent deference. Well then, consider this an introduction. I'd like to invite you to dinner this weekend at Heavenly Delicacy Restaurant, VIP room. Just come and mention my name. Heavenly Delicacy Restaurant, the most expensive place in City A. One meal could equal a normal student's entire year's tuition. A sweet slap in the face, flaunting wealth and asserting dominance. Thank you for your kind invitation, Mr. Jiang, but I'm afraid I can't accept. I politely declined. Victor Jiang's voice on the other end immediately turned cold. Little girl, don't be ungrateful. I'm giving you a way out. A way out? I laughed. Mr. Jiang, perhaps you've misunderstood. The one who needs a way out isn't me. His patience ran out. I've investigated. Your family is just an ordinary civil servant family in the city. Who do you think you are to talk to me? Believe it or not, with just one phone call from me, you'll be expelled tomorrow. I remained silent, allowing him to vent. The angrier he got, the more mistakes he'd make. Scared now? Seeing my silence, Victor Jiang gloated. Be smart, delete all that nonsense online, and come apologize to my daughter. Otherwise, don't blame me. Mr. Jiang, I waited for him to finish before speaking slowly and clearly. Are you aware that threatening others and abusing your power to influence the decisions of an educational institution can lead to criminal charges? Oh, and it seems I accidentally recorded this call of ours. The other end of the line went silent. I could imagine Victor Jiang's face turning purple with rage. You little brat, he gritted his teeth. You're good. Beep, 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 he hung up. I placed my phone on the table. The fish had taken the bait. Immediately, I opened a video call with the task force. Dad, Mom, Andrew, As predicted, Victor Jiang has made his move. He just called and threatened me. I replayed the recording. My father listened, tapping lightly on the table. Typical, this type of person, when money and power can't solve a problem immediately, resorts to dirty tricks. He'll try to get revenge on you. Andrew, start monitoring all of Victor Jiang's activities. Andrew nodded, his fingers already flying across the keyboard. Already infiltrated traffic camera systems and his phone's GPS. He just left his company, driving to the Golden Imperial nightclub. Golden Imperial? My mother frowned. That's where Vincent L1E5C, Lucas L1E5C's father, often goes for business meetings. It seems he still hasn't given up on trying to approach the L1E5C group. Not just that, Andrew threw a pile of documents onto the screen. I just hacked into Victor Jiang's company's internal financial system. There was an unusual expense of 5 million yuan transferred to a personal account last week. The account holder, Manager Wei, head of admissions at a university. No wonder Jasmine Jiang got into school so easily, I muttered. Everything is clear, my father concluded. Our plan is to use his own tactics against him. Your mother will create a psychological trap. Andrew will provide the ammunition. And you, Selena, are the bait. Understood, I nodded. Just then my phone rang again. It was Lucas L1E5C. It seemed our director was also quite impatient. I told my family, then answered the call. Your play tonight was very spectacular. Lucas L1E5C's voice held a hint of amusement. Do you need me to award an Oscar? Just the warm-up, I replied. Your news travels fast. I installed a mini bug on your collar when we were on the rooftop. What? I jumped, instinctively checking my collar. His low chuckle echoed on the other end. Just kidding. I just happened to overhear your conversation with Victor Jiang through my family's surveillance system. Did your dad forget to renew his anti-intrusion software? I was silent. My brother Andrew, on the other side of the video call, blushed crimson at being outmaneuvered by another hacker. Lucas L1E5C continued. Her father is going to the Golden Imperial Club to find my father. It seems he plans to use connections to exert pressure. Is that so? I raised an eyebrow. Then, President L1E5C, would you be interested in watching another play, this time on a bigger stage? Very much so, his voice was full of interest. Location, Golden Imperial nightclub. But this time, you're not an actor, you're the audience. The main actress is about to take the stage. I hung up, looking at the video screen. Mom, I need your help. I want to send a small gift to Mrs. L1E5C, Lucas L1E5C's mother. My mother smiled, the smile of a psychological expert, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Of course, my dear, I always enjoy a good family drama. The game had truly begun. Victor Jiang thought he was the hunter, but he didn't know he was merely an animal falling into an intricately designed trap. And I, along with my family, were the patient hunters waiting. The Golden Imperial nightclub wasn't a noisy bar, but a fortress for the elite. Every inch of land was paved with money and power. Crystal lights hung down like Milky Ways. The air was permeated with the scent of fine wine and unspoken schemes. Lucas L1E5C and I sat in a VIP room on the second floor. This room had a massive one-way mirror, looking directly down at the main lobby where Vincent L1E5C and Victor Jiang were seated. A perfect spot for the director and producer. 1982 red wine, or a special cocktail named Green Tea's Tears. Lucas L1E5C offered me the menu, the corner of his mouth curved. Just a glass of water, I replied. I need a clear head to enjoy the upcoming drama. He shrugged, signaling the waiter. Then, a glass of water for her and a tyrant's betrayal cocktail for me. I feel tonight's play will be a bit tragic. I glanced at him. Has my mother's gift been sent to Mrs. L1E5C? It has. Lucas L1E5C gently swirled the wine in his glass, his eyes glinting with amusement. A bouquet of white Phalaenopsis orchids, accompanied by a handwritten card. Your mother is truly a master. The card contained only one sentence. Mrs. L letter 1E5C, I hear President L letter 1E5C has an important meeting tonight at Golden Imperial with a very generous partner. Have a pleasant evening. No threats, no accusations, just an implied reminder, enough to arouse the curiosity and instincts of an intelligent wife. Evelyn TH letter 1EA9M, my mother, never disappointed me. Downstairs, the conversation didn't seem to be going well. Vincent L letter 1E5C, the old fox of the business world, merely sipped his tea, his expression nonchalant in the face of Victor Jiang's sweet talk. Victor Jiang began to grow impatient, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. It seems my father isn't interested in his land projects, Lucas L letter 1E5C remarked. Then it's time for Plan B, I said, my eyes fixed on a moving figure in the distance. Sure enough, a girl in a wine-red silk dress with alluring curves and a captivating mixed-race face was carrying a tray of drinks towards their table. She moved gracefully like a cat, every step calculated. Wow, a hand-picked talent, Lucas L letter 1E5C whistled softly. Victor Jiang really went all out. This isn't an ordinary green tea, I analyzed. This is a white bone spirit, clear goals, professional tactics, strikes without fail. And then the classic drama began. The girl, accidentally, tripped, and the entire tray of drinks spilled onto Vincent L letter 1E5C. Oh, I'm so sorry, I really didn't mean to, she exclaimed in a panic, quickly pulling out a handkerchief to wipe Vincent L letter 1E5C's shirt. But her wiping position was extremely ambiguous, her soft hand deliberately brushing against his firm chest. Victor Jiang immediately stood up, feigning a scolding. What kind of service is this? Do you know who President L letter 1E5C is? Then he turned to Vincent L letter 1E5C, smiling apologetically. President L letter 1E5C, I'm truly sorry. Let me handle this. Or perhaps you could go upstairs to a VIP room to change into some temporary clothes. I've already prepared everything. A perfect tag team, creating an opportunity for the honey trap while finding an excuse to take Vincent L letter 1E5C to a more private location. Vincent L letter 1E5C frowned, looking a little awkward. He wasn't a lecher, but being aggressively pursued by a beautiful girl in front of a business partner wasn't a good look. Just at that crucial moment, the main door of Golden Imperial opened. A woman wearing an emerald green hand-embroidered cheongsam, her hair tied in a high bun, her aura as noble as an empress, walked in. She looked at no one, simply smiled and walked straight towards her husband's table. It's Mrs. L letter 1E5C, Victoria L letter 1E5C. It seems our main actress has arrived. Lucas L letter 1E5C raised his glass, smiling. Victoria L letter 1E5C approached without showing any anger. She glanced at the stunned girl in the red dress, then at her husband's soaked suit, and chuckled softly. Vincent, it seems your meeting tonight is more lively than I imagined. Her voice was gentle, but every word was like a needle. Wife, why are you here? Vincent L letter 1E5C looked momentarily flustered. I've come to take you home, Victoria L letter 1E5C replied, then turned to Victor Jiang, who was stiff as a statue. This must be Mr. Jiang. I've heard so much about you. Your business methods certainly know how to create surprises. Victor Jiang stammered, Mrs. L letter 1E5C This is just a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Victoria L letter 1E5C smiled, her smile growing even more radiant. She turned to the girl in the red dress. Young lady, your acting is very good, but you've chosen the wrong stage. This suit jacket of my husband's is a limited edition Brioni. Its price is enough for you to buy a small apartment. Do you think you can afford to replace it? The girl's face went pale. Victoria L letter 1E5C didn't give her a chance to reply. She took Vincent L letter 1E5C's arm, pulling him to his feet. Mr. Jiang, the L letter 1E5C group has always relied on strength in business. We don't need these flavorings. Perhaps we don't need to discuss this contract further. Vincent, let's go home. I've stewed soup for you. She led Vincent L letter 1E5C away decisively, leaving Victor Jiang frozen in place, his face shifting from green to white like a spilled color palette. His drama had completely collapsed. In the VIP room, Lucas L letter 1E5C and I raised our glasses. My glass of water and his cocktail clinked, creating a crisp sound. Your mother is truly a genius, I genuinely praised. She's just exercising her true abilities, Lucas L1E5C smiled, but we also have to thank your family's psychologist for opening our eyes. Now it's our turn. He pressed a button on his phone. At the same moment, Victor Jiang's phone rang frantically. He shakily answered. His secretary's panicked voice came through. Mr. Jiang, it's over. The tax bureau and the commercial inspectorate just raided our company. All the ledgers have been sealed. What? Victor Jiang shrieked, nearly collapsing. That wasn't all. A text message was sent to his phone. It was a video. The video showed him handing a suitcase full of money to Manager Wei, the head of admissions at a university. The footage was extremely clear, accompanied by a text message. Victor Jiang, the game is over. Either go to the police station yourself, or this video will be on the front page of every newspaper tomorrow morning. The sender's number was a virtual one, untraceable. Victor Jiang couldn't stand. He fell onto the expensive sofa, his eyes vacant. He had lost utterly and completely. I put my glass down, stood up. The play was over. I'm leaving first. Wait, Lucas L1E5C called me back. He walked towards me, standing very close. His gaze, no longer scrutinizing, held a complex, burning emotion. Selena Th1E9M, he softly called my name. Would you like to become my long-term partner? A partner? Yes, he smiled, a genuine smile, devoid of coldness or sarcasm. This world has too many green teas and fools. Just the two of us cleaning up might be a bit busy, but I think it would be a lot of fun. This invitation was bolder than any declaration of love. I looked into his eyes. For a moment, I felt that this man truly was my kind of person. Let me think about it, I said, then turned and left, leaving Lucas L1E5C standing there with a smile on his lips. Case 404 might be considered closed, but the game between Lucas L1E5C and me had just begun. The earthquake named Victor Jiang didn't just stop at the Golden Imperial nightclub. It swept through the entire city like a Category 12 storm. The next day, Jasmine Jiang quietly withdrew her records from the university, disappearing without a trace, as if she had never existed. The school forum erupted, rumors weaving into dozens of different versions, but no one knew the shocking truth behind it. The name Selena Th1E9M only flashed by as a minor detail, then was quickly forgotten. I returned to being a normal student, at least in everyone's eyes. A few days later, Victor Jiang's real estate company was officially sealed for investigation on charges of tax evasion and bribing officials. The empire he had painstakingly built with dirty tricks collapsed overnight. In my living room, the task force was holding a debriefing. Case 404 successfully concluded. Subject Victor Jiang has confessed. Subject Jasmine Jiang has been sent abroad. Thorough efficiency. My father lightly tapped the file, his voice filled with the satisfaction of a commander who had won a battle. My mother sipped her tea. Selena did very well this time. Not only did she resolve the dorm nuisance, but she also leveraged the situation to expose the big fish. My daughter is increasingly taking after her mother's style. Andrew, sitting opposite, pushed up his glasses. But I also have to admit, the L1E5C group system is very strong. I had to spend all night patching up the security hole Lucas L1E5C poked into it. Lucas L1E5C, I murmured his name. His offer to become partners still echoed in my ears. Just then, the doorbell rang. A woman of about 30, elegantly dressed but with eyes containing fatigue and unease, walked in. This was a new client for the Than TR1E BNG firm. Hello, Mr. Th1E9M, Mrs. Th1E9M, I am Jessica Song. A new case file was opened on the table. Target, Leo Tan, 35 years old, CEO of Xinghe Technology Group, a startup that went public in just 5 years, from an ordinary background, self-made, a legend in the business world. Client, Jessica Song, Leo Tan's wife, heiress of the Song Jewelry Group. Request, investigate the illicit relationship between Leo Tan and a woman named Anya An, collect evidence to make Anya and leave Leo Tan forever. I looked at Anya An's photo. Unlike Jasmine Jiang, this woman did not appear weak or fake. She wore a simple white dress, sitting at a white piano, exuding an ethereal aura like a muse, her eyes clear, her gentle smile carrying a hint of distant sorrow. "This isn't a green tea," my mother spoke, a psychologist's sharp gaze in her eyes. "This is a white moonlight, a cherished first love, a regret that could not be attained in the past." My father continued, "This type is 10 times more dangerous than a green tea. Green teas use tactics, white moonlights use emotions. For a self-made man like Leotan, his career is his achievement, but a white moonlight is his obsession. He can abandon benefits, but it's hard for him to abandon an obsession." Andrew immediately projected Anya An's information onto the large screen. Anya An, 34 years old, famous pianist. 10 years ago, she and Leotan were childhood sweethearts, the golden couple of the university. But then, Anya An suddenly went abroad to study, cutting off all contact. Leotan suffered for a long time, then met Jessica Song, got married, and built his career. 2 weeks ago, Anya An suddenly returned to the country, holding a private concert. And Leotan attended that concert. Jessica Song sat opposite, her voice trembling. Since that day, he started changing. He often comes home late, lies to me that he's socializing, but he's actually meeting her. I even found a high-end apartment he just bought in her name. Tears streamed down her face. "Mrs. Th letter 1E9M, I don't want a divorce. I just want her to disappear from our lives." "This is a difficult case," my father said. "A white moonlight returning, carrying an image both pitiful and aloof. Any direct attack will turn Leotan into a hero defending his love, while his wife will become a jealous, wicked woman. We need a plan. We can't alert them. We must find Anya An's weakness." "Weakness?" Andrew clacked on the keyboard. "On the surface, her life is perfect, talented, beautiful, clean past. But there's something strange. In her 10 years abroad, she had almost no significant performance activities, yet her bank account received large sums of money from unknown sources in Switzerland." "Interesting," my mother smiled. "Our muse doesn't seem to live by moonlight alone." "I need to approach them," I said. "I need to observe Leotan and Anya An directly. Only at close range can I find the flaws in her play." "How?" my father asked. "This weekend, Anya An is holding a thank you party for close friends and partners at a private villa. Security is extremely tight," Andrew said, looking thoughtful. "The guest list is finalized. It will be very difficult to infiltrate." "Difficult for others, but not impossible." I smiled, picked up my phone, and found a saved number I had never called back. "Hello?" The familiar deep voice echoed on the other end. "President L letter 1E5C, are you interested in a new case?" The other end was silent for a few seconds, then a soft laugh. "With this call, my new partner must have finished thinking. Tell me, who's the prey this time?" "White moonlight," I replied concisely. "Anya An, the party at L letter 1EC7TH letter 1E7Y Villa this weekend. I need an entrance ticket." "Oh, Leotan and his moonlight?" Luca's L letter 1E5C didn't seem surprised. "Your news travels fast. Coincidentally, I'm also on the guest list." "Is that so?" "Indeed, but Selena Th letter 1E9M?" His voice suddenly became more serious. "A partnership requires give and take. I help you get in, what do you give me?" "The truth," I said, "and a drama no less exciting than the one at Golden Imperial." "Deal," he replied decisively. "Saturday night, 7 p.m. I'll pick you up, dress nicely. After all, you're my girlfriend." "What?" I froze. "Isn't that right?" he chuckled. "I can't go to a high-end party alone. And you, accompanying young master L letter 1E5C of the L letter 1E5C group, will have a perfect identity to approach the prey without suspicion. 2 birds with 1 stone, or do you not want to?" I took a deep breath, this cunning fox. 7 p.m., I said, then hung up. I looked up, my entire family was looking at me with knowing eyes. "It seems," my father cleared his throat, "we have external support for this case." My mother smiled. "A very suitable partner, a match made in heaven." I ignored their teasing. In my mind, a red line appeared, case file, white moonlight. Subject, Anya An, level, S-class psychological expert. Status, in progress. Special partner, Luca's L letter 1E5C. At precisely 7, 0:00 p.m. on Saturday, a pitch-black Aston Martin DB11 stopped right in front of my dormitory gate, attracting everyone's attention. The car door opened, and Lucas L1E5C stepped out. He wasn't wearing his usual uniform or sportswear, but a bespoke suit. Not from any luxury brand, but from a custom tailor in London known only to old money families. Every line was perfect, accentuating his broad shoulders and narrow waist. His usual cold demeanor was replaced by the aloof arrogance of someone at the apex of the pyramid. I was also ready. I chose a dark blue silk dress, simple in design but exquisitely tailored, enough to stand out without being ostentatious. My mother said that when confronting a white moonlight, the best weapon isn't glamour, but a mysterious aura. "You're 30 seconds late." Lucas L1E5C opened the car door for me. His voice still carried that familiar, calculated tone. "You must ensure that no detail on you can be exploited by the opponent." I sat in the car, calmly replying, "In a psychological battle, every detail is a chess move." He chuckled, closed the car door, and got into the driver's seat. "It seems we truly are partners made for each other." The car sped off into the night, leaving curious and envious stares behind. L1EC7TH1E7 Y Villa was nestled in the mountains, a private fortress surrounded by trees and state-of-the-art security. The party wasn't noisy. Only the gentle strains of piano music and the soft conversations of the elite filled the air. Everyone here either had money, power, or both. The moment Lucas L1E5C and I entered, we immediately became the center of attention. Young Master L1E5C of the L1E5C group had never brought a girlfriend to any event before. He casually put his arm around my waist, a clear possessive gesture, whispering in my ear, "Play your part well." "Of course, boyfriend," I smiled back. My smile was perfect to the millimeter. And then we saw her. Anya An stood by a pristine white piano in the center of the hall, still in the familiar white dress from the photo, her long black hair gently falling over her shoulders. She didn't need sparkling jewelry. She herself radiated a unique light, a fragile ethereal beauty that made people only dare to look from afar, not daring to tarnish her. Beside her was Tan, looking at her with eyes that would break any wife's heart, eyes filled with adoration, reverence, and regret. "The main actors have taken the stage," Lucas L1E5C whispered. We walked over. "Mr. Tan, long time no see." Lucas L1E5C greeted him politely. Tan turned around, smiled when he saw Lucas L1E5C, but when he saw me beside him, a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. "Young Master L1E5C, what brings you here tonight?" "This is my girlfriend, Selena Thẩm." Lucas L1E5C introduced briefly, his hand on my waist tightening slightly. "Hello, Mr. Tan, hello, Ms. An." I smiled politely. Anya An also turned to look at me. Her eyes were clear as autumn water without a ripple. She assessed me from head to toe in a second, then offered a gentle smile. "Hello, Ms. Th1E9M, you're truly beautiful." A polite compliment, but also a probing strike. "I wouldn't dare," I replied. "Ms. An's artistic aura is truly admirable. I heard your comeback concert was incredibly moving." My earpiece buzzed with my mother's voice. "Praise well, start with admiration, lower yourself to make the opponent relax their guard." "Ms. Th1E9M, you flatter me," Anya An smiled. "Just a little personal emotion." "Oh," I feigned curiosity. "I heard Ms. An lived abroad for 10 years. You must have accumulated a lot of valuable inspiration and experiences for your music during that time, haven't you?" This was a casual question, but it aimed directly at the weakness Andrew Th1E9M had found, 10 years with almost no performance activities. A nearly imperceptible flicker of light appeared in Anya An's eyes, then vanished instantly. She raised a hand to lightly stroke a loose strand of hair, an unconscious action to hide her unease. "Not really," she replied, her voice still gentle. "Those 10 years, I mainly spent time settling down and finding my true self. For an artist, sometimes silence is more precious than the spotlight." A perfect answer, both romantic and philosophical, impossible to refute. My earpiece buzzed again with my father's voice, micro-expression analysis. When mentioning 10 years, her pupils contracted for 0.5 seconds, her left hand gripped her wine glass tightly. She is lying and feels uneasy about this topic. Truly the realm of a genuine artist, I nodded in admiration. So, your life abroad must have been very simple and pure, just music and yourself. Yes, she smiled, her smile like moonlight. Just then, an obese middle-aged man with gold rings on his fingers staggered over. Miss N, listening to one of your pieces is truly worth a fortune. How about this? You have a private dinner with me tonight, and I'll invest in you opening a music academy. What do you say? Leotan's face immediately darkened. He moved to shield Anya An, but Anya An gently raised a hand to stop him. She showed no anger or disgust, only a hint of sadness in her eyes. Thank you for your kind offer, Mr. Zhang, but my music is priceless. It cannot be measured by money. I apologize. She refused in a way that was both refined and firm, making the man feel crude and embarrassed, so he slunk away. Everyone around looked at her with admiration, a perfect crisis management move. Lucas L5C whispered in my ear. She just elevated her own value and made Leotan admire her even more. Indeed, I replied. But did you notice? When that Mr. Zhang mentioned investment, she licked her lips, an unconscious reflex that shows an interest in money. My earpiece buzzed with Andrew Th1E9M's voice. Mr. Zhang is ours. I paid him 500,000 to perform that act. Well done, I silently praised. The conversation ended. Anya An excused herself to rest inside. Leotan immediately followed, his eyes never leaving her. So, partner, Lucas L5C asked, did you harvest anything? I found a crack, I said. She's not as perfect as she appears. She's very sensitive to two topics, her 10 years abroad and money. So what's the next step? The next step is to deepen that crack. I watched Anya An and Leotan's retreating figures. Lucas L5C, can you help me investigate something? Tell me. Find me all of Anya An and Leotan's old college friends, especially those who were present when Anya An suddenly decided to go abroad to study. I don't believe such a beautiful love story ended just because she wanted to find her true self. No problem, Lucas L5C replied, but what do you plan to do with them? I smiled, a calculating smile. Organize a class reunion so everyone can reminisce about old times together. They call it white moonlight because that light is only beautiful when it's kept in a romanticized memory. So, what if we cruelly restore its true colors to that memory? Lucas L5C's efficiency was truly impressive. Less than 24 hours after the party at L1E7TH1E7Y Villa, a detailed list, along with psychological profiles of all relevant former classmates, was on my desk. David Lee, class president of the music department, who once secretly admired Anya An, now director of an event organizing company. Weakness: vain, likes to show off. Mandy Tran, Anya An's close roommate in the dorm, broke contact after Anya An went abroad. Now a full-time housewife, husband is a small manager. Weakness: secretly envious of Anya An's current life, often complains. Kyle Wang, Leotan's best friend, the only one present at the airport to see Anya An off, now vice director at Xinghe. Weakness: absolutely loyal to Leotan, but by nature straightforward, not good at lying. The list was long, but these three were the key players. The class reunion plan was ready. Lucas L5C called me, his voice as efficient as a CEO reporting progress. Tomorrow night, at the revolving restaurant on top of the Imperial Tower, I've reserved the entire restaurant. The reason? David Lee wants to host a grand class reunion to show off. The L5C group happens to be the diamond sponsor. He couldn't refuse. Perfect, I smiled. Then I'll prepare the script. No need, Lucas L5C interrupted. The best script is no script at all. You just need to light a spark, and I'll make sure the wind blows in the right direction. Truly my kind of person. He understood that in a psychological battle, improvisation was the ultimate weapon. The next evening, the Imperial Tower's revolving restaurant was as splendid as a palace among the stars. The 360-degree view of the city at night stretched out below. David Lee, as the organizer, beamed with delight, greeting everyone. Leotan and Anya An arrived quite early. She was still faithful to her white dress, standing amidst the luxurious space, beautiful as a painting. Leotan stood beside her, his eyes never leaving her for a second, like a knight guarding his saint. Everyone gathered around them, showering them with compliments and admiration. Anya, you really haven't changed at all, still as beautiful as a fairy. Leo, you truly have good taste, your first love is still so beautiful after 10 years. Anya An just smiled gently, occasionally glancing at Leotan, a look full of affection yet tinged with shyness. A perfect drama of old flames rekindled. Just as the atmosphere reached its peak, Lucas L5C and I appeared. The doors opened, and all eyes turned to us. Lucas L5C was still in a dashing black suit, while I chose a vibrant red dress, a color completely opposite to Anya An's. If she was Moonlight, I had to be a flame. Young Master L5C, David Lee stammered, quickly rushing over. You've come too. My girlfriend said she wanted to see the excitement. Lucas L5C replied casually, his possessive hand on my waist, pulling me closer. The entire hall seemed to erupt. Lucas L5C's girlfriend? This news was hotter than Leotan reuniting with his first love. I smiled, my gaze sweeping past a frowning Leotan, then resting on Anya An's face. For a moment, her smile stiffened, but quickly returned to normal. Hello everyone, I'm Selena Thẩm, Lucas L5C's girlfriend. I introduced myself, my voice clear. I heard this was a class reunion, so I took the liberty of coming along to learn from you seniors. The greetings ended, and the party began. Under Lucas L5C's coordination, the conversation quickly steered towards the main topic, the past. Honestly, Anya, Mandy Tran, her old best friend, began after a few glasses of wine, unable to hold her tongue. You left so suddenly back then, we were even planning a farewell party for you. Why were you in such a hurry? The first spark was lit. Anya An gently stirred her glass of water, her eyes cast down, her voice carrying a faint sadness. My family had some issues back then, and I didn't want everyone to worry. Moreover, the study abroad procedures came up so unexpectedly, I didn't have time to prepare. Family issues? Mandy Tran looked surprised. I remember your parents were still healthy back then, or was it related to Leotan? All eyes turned to Leotan. He immediately spoke up, his voice protective. Mandy, you've had too much to drink. That's the past, don't bring it up again. Why not bring it up? David Lee interjected, perhaps wanting to show he was in the know. Back then, everyone knew Leotan and Anya were a couple. Leotan even prepared a huge proposal on campus, but Anya didn't show up and flew straight to America. Our Leotan was devastated for half a year. The atmosphere grew awkward. Anya An looked up, her eyes brimming with tears, looking at Leotan, her voice choked. Leo, I'm so sorry. I had my own difficulties back then. Difficulties? These 3 words were vague, pitiful, enough to arouse everyone's sympathy and curiosity. What kind of difficulties would make you abandon the person you loved so much? I spoke up, my voice innocent, yet it was like a knife plunged directly into a raw nerve. Could it be because of the full scholarship to the Juilliard School? I heard that scholarship requires recipients to commit to no romantic entanglements throughout their studies. Is that right? All this information was, of course, fabricated by Andrew Th1E9M in 30 seconds. Anya An froze, looking at me, her eyes flashing with panic. Juilliard was indeed her dream school, but she had never received any scholarship. Leotan also looked surprised. Anya, is that true? You never told me. Anya An quickly regained her composure. She shook her head, smiling bitterly. How could that be? Where did Ms. Th1E9M hear such news? I was just an ordinary student. How could I reach Juilliard? She denied it perfectly, but the seed of doubt had been sown. Is that so? Lucas L5C suddenly spoke. He turned to Kyle Wang, Leotan's best friend. Mr. Kyle, I heard you were the only one who saw Mizanoff at the airport that day. You must know best, right? Kyle Wang, who was drinking, flinched when he heard his name. He looked at Leotan, then at Anya An, his face awkward. I'm not really sure, he stammered. At that time, Anya just cried and said she had a compelling reason to leave, telling me not to tell Leotan. Compelling reason? I repeated, raising an eyebrow. Sounds like something from a drama. I'm very curious, what kind of reason could be so mysterious? I looked directly at Anya An, smiling. Or perhaps Ms. An doesn't want to say for fear of affecting her muse image. Anya An could no longer maintain her composure. Her voice was a little sharp. Selena letter 29M. Leotan stood up, looking at me with displeasure. Don't go too far. I'm just curious, I feigned innocence. After all, such a moving love story, who wouldn't want to know its happy ending? The air was taut like a violin string. Just then, Mandy Tran suddenly gasped, as if remembering something. Wait, Anya, I remember now. The day you left, didn't you tell me you were going back to your hometown for an urgent matter? You even borrowed 5,000 yuan from me to buy a train ticket. How did you end up at the airport going to America? The entire restaurant fell silent. All eyes, including Leotan's, turned to Anya An. Her delicate face, for the first time, turned as white as paper. The perfect mask of the white moonlight finally showed a crack. Mandy Tran's words were like an atomic bomb exploding in the quiet restaurant. 5,000 yuan, train ticket, hometown, airport, America. Disjointed pieces suddenly formed a picture full of contradictions and deception. Anya An's pale face finally regained some color, but it was the flushed red of anger and panic. Leotan, the man who always stood protectively in front of her, for the first time turned around, his eyes shifting from surprise to suspicion. Anya, his voice deepened. What is this about? This was when a true actress showed her class. Anya An took a deep breath, and tears immediately streamed down like rain. She didn't look at Mandy Tran, but directly at Leotan, her eyes filled with hurt and disappointment. Leo, even you don't believe me, she sobbed. Mandy, I know you never liked me, but I never expected that after 10 years, you would fabricate such a ridiculous story out of jealousy to ruin me. She shifted her attack, transforming herself from the question party to the victim of jealousy. A classic technique, but always effective on those deeply in love. Sure enough, Leotan immediately wavered, his eyes turning sharp as he looked at Mandy Tran. Mandy Tran's face flushed with anger. Anya An, don't you dare falsely accuse me. That 5,000 yuan was my tuition money that I saved for an entire year. How could I possibly misremember? So, where's the proof? Anya An challenged. It's been 10 years, who would believe your word alone? The atmosphere once again reached a stalemate. That's right, there's no proof, everything is just hearsay, but I believe it. A calm voice rang out. It was Kyle Wang. He stood up, his eyes complex as he looked at Anya An. Anya, I also remember that day at the airport. When you passed through security, I saw a train ticket to City L in your wallet. I thought it was strange then, but I didn't dare ask. If Mandy Tran's words were a spear, then Kyle Wang's words were a hammer that shattered all of Anya An's denials. Kyle Wang was Leotan's best friend. He had no reason to lie. You're all ganging up to bully me. Anya began to lose control, her voice rising. Enough, Anya, Leotan finally spoke, his voice tired. Tell me the truth, why did you lie? Anya was speechless. Just then, I slowly spoke, my voice gentle but commanding everyone's attention. Or perhaps I can help Ms. An remember. I looked at her, smiling. Actually, it's true that you borrowed money from Ms. Mandy to buy a train ticket to your hometown. The only thing is, the hometown you spoke of wasn't your hometown, but City L. City L? Everyone looked puzzled. Indeed, I continued. You went there not to visit relatives, but to a place called Nkong Private Clinic. Isn't that right, Ms. Anya An? The name Nkong had barely left my lips when Anya An's body began to tremble violently. Her face was no longer pale but utterly drained like ashes. You're talking nonsense, she shrieked. Nonsense? I raised an eyebrow. Then what about this? I gestured to Lucas L. letter 1E5C. He nodded, picked up the restaurant's remote control, and turned on the giant projector screen behind the stage. The lights in the restaurant dimmed, leaving only the screen brightly lit. On the screen was not a video or image, but a clearly scanned document. Title: Confirmation of Surgery. Hospital: Nkong Private Clinic. Patient name: Anya An. Type of surgery: abortion of an 8-week-old fetus. Date of surgery: June 15th, 10 years ago. Total cost, 5,000 yuan. The entire restaurant erupted. Gasps and murmurs rose from all directions. Liu Tan stood frozen, his eyes glued to the screen, his face expressing a collapse indescribable in words. The white moonlight in his heart, it turned out, not only lied but also hid such a horrifying secret. No, it's fake, it's all fake. Anya An screamed like a madwoman, lunging towards the screen as if to tear it apart. Fake, my earpiece buzzed with Andrew letter 1E9M's cold voice. This entire record was retrieved directly from the clinic's cloud storage system. It has her full signature and fingerprints. It cannot be faked. Liu Tan slowly turned to look at Anya and with completely unfamiliar eyes, his voice bone-chillingly cold. Why? Just one question, but it contained the shattered pieces of 10 years of waiting and illusion. Anya An knew she had no way out. She suddenly burst into laughter, a wild, mournful laugh. She pointed at Liu Tan. Why? Isn't it because of you, Liu Tan? If you weren't so useless and irresponsible, would I have had to resort to this? She threw out her last card, a malicious accusation, wanting to drag Liu Tan down with her. But she had underestimated the letter 1E9M family's preparation. Ms. N, Lucas letter 1E5C suddenly spoke, his voice cold. According to the entry and exit records I obtained, from March to June 10 years ago, Mr. Tan was in a student exchange program at MIT Boston. He was completely out of the country. So, may I ask whose child that was? A perfect finishing blow. All of Anya An's defenses completely crumbled. She collapsed to the ground. Her crying now was no longer acting, but genuine despair. Liu Tan said nothing more. He turned and walked away decisively. His retreating figure no longer held any lingering affection for the shining moon of his past. He walked straight out of the restaurant, out of the 10-year-long nightmare. The drama had ended. In the Aston Martin, the city at night swept past the windows like a galaxy. I silently looked out. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Jessica Song, just 2 words. Thank you. Along with it was a transfer notification, a sum large enough for me to live comfortably for the rest of my life. The case is closed, Lucas letter 1E5C said, breaking the silence. Do you feel like a god, determining others' fates? I turned to look at him. No, I'm just a cleaner, cleaning up the messes others leave behind. Lucas letter 1E5C chuckled. He stopped the car at a red light, turning to look at me. His eyes, under the streetlights, became profound. So, little cleaner, have you thought carefully about my offer? I looked into his eyes that reflected the city's neon lights and also reflected my own image. A cold, rational, and slightly dangerous person. Lucas letter 1E5C, I said, working with you will probably be very troublesome, but also very interesting. Indeed, he finished my sentence. I subtly curved my lips. Then, welcome, partner. The green light turned on, and the car sped forward, merging into the city's endless flow. The white Moonlight case file had been closed, but I knew the letter 1E9M family's ledger and mine and Lucas letter 1E5C's would open many new pages. Because in this city, the dramas would never end.